Hi again, Sushmita here. Welcome to Start Study and Score. Aji kon podche electronics podche class 11 ro part 9. We are going to study Kirchhoff's law, which is very important in my perspective. So let's get started. Before that, I must advise you to please subscribe to my video so that it will be only available to subscribers only in a few span of time. I hope you are liking my video, you are sharing my videos with your friends and groups, and please do subscribe. Okay, so let's deal with today Kirchhoff's law. Now, in Kirchhoff's law there are two laws. One is current law, I have written. One is voltage law. I can say it KCL, and here I can say it KVL for Kirchhoff's voltage law. It is also called EMF law, electromotive force. Now, before I jump into the laws, I will show you how it happens. First, I will ask a question. When Ohm's law was already there, what was the need of Kirchhoff's laws? Why it is being made in first place? What is the need of it? Now, Kirchhoff's law actually happened because of Ohm's law was for simple circuit. When I am telling simple circuit, that means only one source of voltage I am talking about, EMF or voltage. Okay. Now when we are dealing with complicated circuits, what then? How to determine what is the direction of current in a certain subgroup? Okay, that's why the direction of current is important. The direction of voltage and amount of voltage is also important. That's how Charles Kirchhoff have given two different laws for it. So we must understand what is that and how we can use it in our complicated circuits in future. First of all, I will speak about Kirchhoff's current law. Now, Kirchhoff's current law is basically dependent upon, or it is based upon the principle of conservation of charge. Now we know already what is conservation of mass, conservation of energy, everything, whatever is going in should come out. It is just that. So actually Kirchhoff's current law is actually conservation of charge in complicated circuit. How? Let me explain it to you. Now consider a point where there are many wires meeting. It's just like scalars, vector addition we studied in scalars and vectors. It's just that with a direction added to it. So we can say actually we are studying vectors in this Kirchhoff's current law form. So there are many current approaching a point or going out of it. Now depending on that factor, we can suggest how the direction will be taken. There is a law to it which is determined by Kirchhoff. Now he says that the algebraic sum, that is I, the net current at point P, will be the algebraic sum of currents in each wire. Then why I am giving the arrowhead, you can see here it is towards P, whereas there are towards P, there are mentioned in green colors, and those who are going away, they are mentioned in red color arrowheads. Okay, so why we are labeling it in a way, why one is approaching, another is going away, and as we are suggesting it is a conservation of charge, so it must be the net current approaching a point, it should be taken as positive. So when a current is approaching, if it is approaching a point, it should be taken positive. Okay, and the current which is going away, it's just like emptying the can and filling the can. If the can is filling, if I'm taking P for pot, if the pot is getting filled by I5 and I1 because they are coming inside, I will take them as positive. Now when they are going outside, that means the pot is emptying, so I will tell them as negative. Okay, so how I will take the according to Kirchhoff's first law or current law, I will write them as like this. The formula will be I1 minus I2. I am writing it in a numerical order. 1, then 2. 2 is going away, that's why negative. I3 is also the same. I4 is also the same. I5, again it is approaching towards the pot or the point, so it is positive, equals to 0. So this will be the rule when we are handling complicated circuits. Okay, it can be series, it can be parallel, it can be a combination of series and parallel. Whenever you are seeing the current approaching a point, it should be taken as positive, and whenever it is coming going away, it is that it should be negative. Now you must remember the charge or the current. I can also write the summation of current should be 0. Why so? Because those who are approaching the green ones, the green ones, the addition of green ones should be equal to the addition of red ones. Okay, that's why these three are in negative terms, so that when I add I1 plus I5, it should be equal to I2 plus I3 plus I4. That means the current which is entering a circuit, and it is equal to the current going away from the circuit. Okay, that's why the total current remains same and unchanged, which explains the conservation of charge. Okay, now this finishes your Kirchhoff's current law. If you have any doubt, you can drop a comment in the in my channel so that I'll able to clear it. Next is Kirchhoff's voltage law, which is dependent upon the conservation of energy, and the prerequisites are it should be applicable to only closed circuit, and it states that the total voltage across a complicated circuit which is closed, it should be equal to the individual voltage or EMFs in each arm. Why I am telling each arm? Because I am showing you here a complicated circuit, you can see, and I can write what is V1 here. I can write it as E1 plus E2, for E stands for EMF, not energy here. E stands for EMF, electromotive force. Okay, and this is the net E. How to determine the net E? That's how I'm going to explain it to you. Now you know in battery the big one is positive and the smaller line is the negative, right? The same with here also, negative and positive. Now according to Kirchhoff's voltage law, positive sign will be given to the EMF where the current is flowing from positive to negative. If the current is flowing from negative to positive in a certain path, closed circuit, there the EMF will be positive. So let's see where how it is starting here. Now you can see I should name it so that it will be easier for you. This is R1. The current is entering from here, and I am giving it a name as A, B, C, D so that I can name it afterwards if I want. Okay. So this is another mesh. the current is entering from A, then it is getting divided into two parts. You can see here the current is getting divided into two parts. One is I1 and the AD arm is getting I4. Okay, you can see the direction of the current. Now the current is in E1, the current is passing from positive to negative. So here E1 will be negative. You must understand this. The current came meeting at point A. It got divided into two parts. One is in arm AB, another is arm AD. In arm AB, I1 passing through R1, it's flowing from positive to negative. That's why. And we said the EMF is positive only when the current is flowing from negative to positive. So here in arm AB, E1 is negative. Okay. Then we will move on to BC. Now again I1 will be divided into two parts. This one is I2 and R2. And the current is again meeting at C. It will be again joined and moving away from the circuit. Okay, this is also applicable to Kirchhoff's current law is also applicable here. Now here I am again getting, so this is the current direction of I2 in this direction, and here it is I3, right, in R3, in CD arm. If you want to write, you can write. What about the middle point? You must be thinking. Now when at point A, when the current is approaching, it is actually divided into three parts, I1, I4 and I5, right? And this is R5. Okay. Now you see, if I am writing here E2, how the current is approaching the EMF source, you see, from negative to positive. That's why the arm, if I am taking the arm AC, what it would be, the current is moving from negative to positive. That's why E2 would be, the EMF would be positive taken. These are the sign convention we are speaking about. So you must be crystal clear how to consider the sign conventions when you are doing some calculations. So Kirchhoff's voltage law and current law are equally important. Now this picture you are seeing here, you must be noting down in your notebook for your future reference, because I am anyway moving this page out so that I can write again. So as I said, when the current is from negative to positive, then the EMF would be given positive. This is one formula. What is the second formula? The second formula is when the current is flowing in clockwise direction. Well, this is some arbitrary association, but it works here. When the current is flowing in clockwise direction, then you can assign positive value to it. Let me show you. There are two. This picture is little complicated, you may think of it, but if we see it in a larger scale, then there are, if I shade it, it would be like really easy for you, or I'll divide it so that it will be really easy for you. So I will draw this part, A, B, C part again, so that you will be easily relate to it, right? So this will be this. This is a big resistance and one EMF of cell. Current approached at point A, it got divided into three parts, right? This is another resistance which is R4, and again from D it got divided, it is moving away here. This is point of intersection D. Now here we are discussing about A, B and C. So I'll just leave this part, D part alone. Okay, I'll not draw this. So what was here? Here it was another resistance with a battery arranged in this manner, right? So again I am joining with a resistor here. They are joined and again went away from the point of intersection. Now I am going to label them so it will be easier for you to understand. A, B, C. You must remember what is A, B, C. Now the current approached A point, got divided into two parts. One is I1 and R1 is the resistance here or resistive element. This is the E1 and with positive negative. As we said, the current is approaching the positive side of the battery. That's why E1 will be negative. We spoke of it, right? Then the I1 at B, there is no divider point here. It is going to I2. So it is I2 and this is R2. This is R2, right? So I2, R2. Again, there is no EMF circuit here. So it's a simple one. The current. Now, how to calculate the current? If there is no, in BC arm, the current is flowing from this direction, isn't it? You can see if the current is flowing in this direction, here also same clockwise direction. For in BC and AB, both I1 and I2 are flowing in clockwise direction. That's why they will be positive. They will be taken as positive and the resistance has got no sign convention. You must note down, it's a note that resistance has no sign convention in Kirchhoff's law. They are taken as constants. Okay, it is just the sophisticated version of Ohm's law for complicated circuit. So you must remember resistance has got no sign convention as such, only the I or EMF or the voltage will only vary. So this is the second part of it. If the current is in clockwise version, then that would be taken as positive. If it is moving in the anti-clockwise direction means what? Like in this direction. Then it will be taken as this direction. This will be taken as negative. Where we are seeing in A, B, C grid, you can see where in AC arm, I already drawn it. In AC arm, you can see the current is having I5. Okay, I5, this is R5 and this is E5, right? How the current is approaching the EMF here? From negative to positive. That's why E5 will be positive, yes, according to the first point of voltage law. But what would be the sign convention for I5? I5 is moving like this. This is anti-clockwise. So I5 will be taken as negative. Why? Because it was anti-clockwise. Then how we will calculate? We will calculate according to the sign convention, thinking in mind how the sign convention are varying. Then we will calculate. Okay, so let's see in mesh A, B, C, how the things are getting varied. In mesh A, B, C, it varies. If they take the total, each arm I will take AB plus BC plus AC. Okay, that must be constant. Now what is it in AB? In AB it is I1 R1, right? Because I1 was clockwise, that's why it is positive. And for EMF, I am writing it as equals to E1 with a minus sign, right? Because the current is approaching from the positive side. Now let's go to BC hand. BC hand has got no EMFs, no voltage, only the I2 R2 factor, and it is also in clockwise direction. So it is I2 R2. As we know from Ohm's law, V equals to IR. So for individual voltage, we are stating the I1 R1 and I2 R2 like that. Okay, now what is AC? AC is actually plus. Is it a plus sign? No, it is not, because it is anti-clockwise. We already learnt it. So it is minus I5 R5, as it is in anti-clockwise, but the current is approaching the same negative sign, so it's good. So what is it? It is positive. The EMF would be E2 minus E1. Sorry, E5 minus, this is E5 minus E1. So here I emphasized how you are going to handle the sign convention of EMF or voltage with the currents in a meshy loop. Now we can also talk about the second loop, which is ACD. Now in ACD, we can say I5 will be clockwise, I3 will be anti-clockwise, I3 will be anti-clockwise, okay, and I4 is also anti-clockwise. So here in this mesh, for you there is a homework, yes. So for you, I want to write what would be the situation in ADC mesh. The picture, you can take a screenshot of it if you want. I will show you. So take a screenshot of it so that you can do it. And the answer I'm providing you with is the same one in ADC or ACD, whatever the triangle. It is I5R5 minus I4R4 minus I3R3 equals to, there is only one E5 was there, so I will simply write E5, and it is given positive sign because of the fact that the current is approaching from negative to positive. So in general, in any mesh, if I am taking, so it is the summation of current into resistance will be summation of the EMF in a particular closed circuit. That means the current, the resistance remaining the same, the summation of currents into resistance equal to the sum of all the EMFs, and it is always a constant quantity. Whatever enters, it should be given away or go away. So always there is a conservation of energy in Kirchhoff's voltage law. So how basically it is applicable? Why we are studying this? We are studying this because anything potential at any point in a current law, what we studied, that current remains constant, the potential remains constant, whatever may be the number of wires connected. So from the current law, when the current law we studied, whatever may be the n number of there are wires connected, the potential, the EMF or the voltage remains constant. Okay, in Kirchhoff's current law we established it. Now in Kirchhoff's voltage law we established that it is a generalization of Ohm's law or sophisticated version of it, keeping in mind that the sign conventions should be taken care of voltage as well as the current, keeping resistance as constant. So I hope with this video you are now very much clear about what is the Kirchhoff's current law and voltage law, how that is applicable in complicated circuits and as well as the sign convention. You must remember that we will be solving many problems together. So stay tuned. Please subscribe my videos and my channel Start Study and Go. Give the thumbs up. Any notification will be mailed to you. Take care. Have a good day and do study at home.